Alrighty, so it begins. And what better way to begin it than with song? And what song shall we listen to today? Well, I'm glad you've asked. Um, where is it? There you go. It's a typical one. Brought to you by Pirate Software and the lovely artist who created the soundtrack for it. All great stuff. But I specifically choose my favorite songs to listen to over and over again. So that's where we're at. Now, what are we going to be doing today in this session? Great question. So the feedback, we've gone through 3 different iterations of this game. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've gone through 3 different iterations of the game. This will be the 4th. And give me 1 second here. This will be the 4th, and I can show you those really quick, and then we'll go into exactly what we're doing now. Okay. That proves that this is not on. Bring that up there a bit. Okay. Cool. Alright, so the different iterations of the game. So here is the first iteration. I thought very simple, left and right movement, Mario-like mechanic of jumping and hearing the letters. Kiddo does not like that. She ended up just falling off over and over again, and that was her favorite part of the game. To which I was like, oh, okay, so you want more lateral movement. So initially this was a Flappy Bird clone, where the player had to repeatedly press the button in order to, or the jump or up button in order to resolve it in order to play the game. So they just had to press jump, because I thought that would be more fun, but my kiddo interpreted that as it's not working, like it's broken. I'm trying to go up, but it's not working. So in order to resolve that, I just made it where it's way more floaty and allows for a lot more movement. So she played this version. However, didn't like it either. She liked to go up. She liked to go down. That was basically it. Still up and down is her favorite thing. So this was mildly frustrating for me. So I was like, okay, so what do I have to do to make this a good game? So I was like, well, let's not reinvent the wheel here. Let's go with other games that kind of do what I want to do, which is focusing on phonetic wording or phonetic letters. And we found one. We found a game that my kiddo really likes. I forgot exactly what it's called. It's like ladder something. It's a ladder game with a monkey. But she really likes it, and she's able to pick out what the letters are on the keyboard. So like it's a good, it works on multiple things for her. So that's great. So that's what we're gonna build out now. So again, this is the 4th iteration of this project. What's wrong with this? The collision shape is attached, is it not? There we go. What does this look like? Okay, so first we'll get the player. Oh. Of course, attach the sprite. And the sprite we're going to use, just for simplicity's sake, we'll grab, I'll put my kiddo's face in there, just way lower it. And then a collision shape, again, let's make this smaller, and a collision shape. Not that I think it necessarily needs a collision shape, but I know the character body 2D is gonna freak out if there isn't one. holding Alt and then left click and down, so that way we can cover the whole player. Okay, they're currently up in the air. I'm gonna move them up, so that way we can see the player falling down. Not that, again, gravity even matters. I'm just like covering the fundamentals of like what I typically do. No gravity. Oh, that makes sense. We didn't do that. So this is gonna be monkey player. Okay. All right, and then let me write out the most non-sexy part is the programming documentation. But I'm gonna essentially duplicate this. Can I dupe? Control D. Make a copy. And then this is gonna be for monkey keyboard game. Set basic level with quote pa being the word that Kiddo plays, or Kiddo masters. What do we need for that? We need the player, we need letters, we need an event / trigger for when correct letter is pressed, event or trigger, which will probably just be auditory or visual, when button is incorrect, animation or logic to move player, and state final word, final image. When correct letters are pressed, player hears the phonetics. When incorrect, they get visual and audio feedback. When all letters are pressed. When all letters are pressed, final word is the quote winning flag. So first, what we need to do first what we need to do is register correct button press. Once we register the correct button press, then we need to move player up the ladder. Well, technically, actually, the second step is, yeah, no, that's right. Move the player up the ladder. As a subtask of that, trigger letter to disappear. Spawn next letter. Repeat. Final word. Trigger set up. Final word. Audio. Final word. Triggers next stage. Alright, so that's what we got. So let's tackle this one by one. First, we're gonna register a button is pressed. Pretty easy. And I think it'll actually require us to change our input map here. Because we're not doing it the row. Left and right movement is not going to mean anything. I mean, I guess we can keep it, but it's not going to mean anything. R is the only thing that will be screwed up. So rather than the key being R, we're going to modify it so it's something that my kiddo will not likely accidentally press, but I still know to press in case I need to restart the level. Can I do F1? Yep. Okay. That way we can avoid the letters. Okay. Let me see, because I think I actually have downloaded a copy. What the heck? Okay, I immediately don't trust this. I was just listening to a hacking thing regarding vulnerabilities with PDF readers, so I'm not gonna risk that. I'll keep it like this for now. Let's focus on these steps first. So what we're gonna do is grab from the sample scene. Gonna grab the P. Gonna copy it. Control C, Control V. And it's not going to be a child of the player, it's going to be a child of the scene. So there's P. And then I need an A. And those are all the letters I need. P, A. Oops. Hold on, I'm confused. So A, here's the letter A. P, A, need the next letter, which is P, Control D. And last letter, of course, is A. Alright, I know it says monkey player right now. As of right now, I just need to put the monkey in later, but do that in a second. So we're going to be listening for input. So I'm going to put this in our process folder. And then from here, we're going to say first pass, so I don't have that annoying error. If in input dot is action just press a, and I guess I need to set up the whole alphabet now, but I'm not gonna obviously do that. I'll do it one word at a time. So first is gonna be pretty easy mapping. Mm. 10 more followers until my goal. Okay. So if we move the letter, right? So going back to our thing, register the button is pressed for the sake of just testing. I mean, I know what it is. P has been pressed. Let me see that right down here. Cool. So we got that part done. It's like a squiggly line. Two squiggly lines here? No. Two squiggly lines here? There we go. That didn't take long. Now move the player up the ladder. So, if player presses correct button, then I think we need to create a custom move toward thing. And then move towards, and then we have to identify what move towards actually means. So let's identify that function called move toward target. In this function, we're gonna say take the global position, or no, we're gonna take the what am I changing? We're changing the global position, yes, but we're taking the velocity should be plus or minus, plus minus equal to the target position, current position, velocity slash rate of change. I'm a tired boy. So we're saying that the current position should be plus slash minus the current velocity is plus or minus the oh man. The velocity, the rate of change, the rate. No, we're saying that the current position is plus or minus to equal the target position. I still don't know exactly how I'm trying to say it. So we'll create a variable called current underscore position. Current position target underscore position, and velocity is a set thing of a vector too. And then I think at the very beginning we need to set this, so function is a ready, and here we set the current, oh, can't do that because it's a variable, or it's a function specific, so we gotta make this a global variable. Alright, everybody can access it in the script, and we're gonna say that the current position is equal to the global position. So if current position is less than target position, then velocity is, if it's less than, is plus equal to the Oh man. Hmm. Yeah, sorry. I always hit this. It's just like working out. I always hit this tired point of like, holy shit. And of course, it's at 30 minutes, which sounds about exactly right. So the difference in space is the difference between the target position and the current position. The current position is set to the global position of the player, meaning where the player is in the space of the world. Um, and then we'll change this. Cannot infer type. I thought I was not inferring. I thought I was setting it directly. Alright, whatever. 1 second. difference in space is the target position minus the current position. Itchy, sorry. If the difference between the space is less than 0, then don't do shit. I'm gonna say, yeah, stop, or it should be velocity dot normalize. I'm thinking. I don't know if that's accurate. Hold on, let me back this up. Yeah, I hate when it does that. Then I don't know where I'm at. If the current position, or sorry, if the difference between the space is less than 0, less than or equal to 0, then we not normalize. If difference in space is greater than 1, then we take the I should have to specify for both. If the difference in space for the y position is greater than 1, then we set the velocity dot y to be minus equal to the speed. If the difference in space for dot x is greater than 1, then velocity dot x is minus equal speed. Okay, so I think that's right. We'll see. Well, before I even run it, let me say I define the difference between space. How do we define the difference between space? Hey, and Noel, I am working on a game for my kiddo. I went through a couple different iterations. This was the first one, very, very basic thing. I drew Olaf, and not sure if you can hear that, but they're going over the letters. That was super basic. My kiddo didn't like it, but what they did like is falling down. So that was the feedback I received. So I was like, okay, let me try. It seems like you like vertical movement. So let me try a Flappy Bird clone. But when we ran with a Flappy Bird clone, right? Exactly. Like, I set up this whole, that's the antithesis of having a kid. I set up this whole thing and they were like, I just like falling. It's like, are you a cat? Like, because I'm going through a lot of effort and you just appreciate the small things. Anyway, so I had a Flappy Bird clone. But when my kiddo would press the jump button and they would fall back down, they thought like, oh, it's not working. So then I switched it so that way it allowed it for a little bit more floaty movement. And then they would go through the letters and they would explode. But again, it do be like that sometimes. Yes, it does. Yeah, very much so. But yeah, they didn't like the floaty movement either. But what they did like is going up and down. So this was overall frustrating. I mean, not really, not at my kiddo. Like my kiddo's doing nothing wrong, but it was frustrating for me because I was like, I'm not making this game the way I should make it for you. So I was like, well, let me have her play a couple different games and then go from there and see what she likes. And she really liked this one game where you type in a letter, you find it on your keyboard, you type in a letter, and then you go from letter to letter to letter. So that's what we're setting up now. This is the fourth iteration of the game. I'm just keeping each iteration because maybe I'll reuse the code at some point. But yeah, that's what we're working on now. Thanks for joining the stream. I appreciate it. Always nice to have company while going through this. Are you a developer of some kind? I mean, with your at name, I would assume so. Assume so. I can say words. Assume so. Given N null, which is overall a really good name. It also sounds like kind of like a badass, like a some type of villain. N null, something like that. Oh, okay, gotcha. Wow, 25 years ago. Wow. Well, you must be an accomplished developer then. That's incredible. I've been programming for like 3-ish years on and off. So doing it for 25 years, and learning C, that's really impressive. So very cool, and also just such a cool name that you ended up with, so early on. Not really software. It's mostly a hobby for me. Day job is server/host management. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. I mean, whatever pays the bills ultimately. But yeah, same thing. I mean, would I like to be making games and hacking for like my full-time thing? Absolutely. But as of right now, I'm just happy with it being a hobby. I actually had the opportunity to program for my job currently. I'm a QA analyst, so I just make sure that software works properly, and then try to test it to see if we're able to bypass a process or something like that. And I was offered because I was helping the developer decode, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that because I don't want to take something I enjoy. Not that I'm really good at coding at all, but I do enjoy coding, so I just didn't want to taint it. Um, I'm not sure if you're the same with that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, learning logic one area will help in many different areas. That's why I'm trying to get my kiddo into engineering and STEM via video games because that's what got me into it. Was the idea of after college I just came upon the genuinely stupid epiphany of like, oh, people make video games. I could make video games. So that's been a whole journey. I'm not super good at it, but I really do enjoy the process most of the time. Emphasis on most. Alright, so let's try this first function here. I do have move towards in there. I don't think that pass is going to screw up anything. I'm 90% sure it won't. I'm just going to take it out of there because it's going to bug me. Plus, we don't need it anymore. This needs to be revised. First and foremost, let's bring the player down. And then let's grab this stuff. Bring that down as well. Wait, there's 2 A's? Where's the second A? Here's this A. Here's that P. Here's this P. Where are you? Oops. Oh, it's just a second sprite. I guess I had duplicated the wrong thing. Control D to duplicate. W to move it where I want it to be. Save that. And then now let's try out that. P. Nope. Immediately crashes, but that's fine. Errors are the answer. Invalid, nil, and vector2 in operator. We're identifying the Godot is good point to work from. Oh, I'm having someone and having someone you are doing it for adds drive. I think no kids for myself. Yeah. And hey, take your time with kids, or maybe just don't ever have kids. I certainly didn't plan on it, but now that my kiddo is here, I'm just trying to do my best by them to the best of my ability. I'm an incredibly flawed person, but I'm just trying to do my best by them. So yeah, it is a good drive. But I'm sure even without kids, there's other drives. But to be able to have a kid, it's like, okay, I have a positive force, if you will, that adds to this. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yep. Thank you, and Noel. And yeah, that's I'm still working on it. Uh, I want to be a better man. Okay, so this is the Noel reference. Okay. So maybe we should identify this first and foremost up here. Let's take it out of there and make it global, and then we'll set this to be a vector 2. And then from here, we'll say that we'll set the difference in space not to assign it, but to set the value to be equal to that. So cancel this, save, rerun it. P, nope. Why is it still nil? How? How, bitch? Maybe 1 equal signs? Could it be that simple? Why is this still no? Oh wait. The target position is no. That's what I get for assuming. The target position. Oh, did we not? We didn't identify target position. That makes sense. Okay, so how exactly are we going to set up target position so that way it's automatic rather than me saying each and every single letter? Maybe we set up a class or a tag or something like that to say if it's target position is what we're trying to identify. We need to identify the target position. The target position is going to be a vector 2, so I guess we can start there. And then beyond it being a vector 2, why did the music stop? Also, it cut off so suddenly? That was weird. That was weird. Can you explain what you are trying to target right now? Yes, I can. And that'll also probably help me. So what I'm trying to do is set the target position to equal whatever the next letter position is. So how do I break that down? Let's make it simple. Always go to programming documentation before you type code. So the target position is the next letter position. And then how do we identify next letter? Right, that's the variable. So you're trying to go for an order of the letter. Yeah, I believe so, and no, I believe that's what I'm trying to do. So that way, when it goes to, where are we? Hold on. When it goes to the P, so like once my kiddo press P, it goes to P, and then P disappears, which will pretty easy function for that. And then it will automatically know because I think I already know how to do it, but we'll see. Because it automatically knows that the Y value is, I think, less than or greater than the current position. That's the next letter. So, if that makes sense. I hope that made sense. Do you want something to happen if they get the wrong letter? Yes, yes. That is also in our programming documentation. Um, I thought it was. If the correct letter, then spawn, repeat. Didn't I say output when correct letter is pressed, you hear the phonetics. If an incorrect letter is pressed, then visual and audio feedback. Yep. Yeah, so yeah, I do want it to trigger something if it's the wrong letter. It'll just probably be some auditory feedback. Just because I don't want my kiddo to get frustrated with the process. I thought about just resetting the level if they get it wrong, but I don't want them. I don't want them to be frustrated. I want them to be able to make it super easy, and then if anything, we can scale up the difficulty as time goes on. Is my thinking. Pardon, I lost my train of thought. What am I doing? Here we are. Using Obsidian for notes there, nice. Yes, that is. So they aren't directly controlling the movement, but pressing the next. Yes, exactly. Yep, not directly controlling the movement at all. Just being essentially transported. So that's where we have this line of code. So we're saying that the if the I can say words. They're gonna press P, and when they press P, where's my code? If they press P, then they'll move. So the velocity will increase. The velocity and the X and Y value will increase, so the rate of change as far as the speed of the player will increase until it meets the difference in space. Until it meets the current position. So when there is no difference in space, meaning that the target position, let me just show here, this will be the target position for the letter. When this is equal to the player position, we'll trigger an event that takes away the letter, and then we'll also have a phonetic sound pop up. And yeah, I do use Obsidian for this because I just really like Obsidian. I've tried using other project management software before, but it's very, very easy for me to drop it. Where Obsidian is just super easy to pick up. It's really easy to write all my notes up and then go from there. So yeah, they're not controlling the position directly. That's what I had in this iteration of the game, and then also in this iteration. But all my kid wants to do for this iteration is fall off the map, and all my kid wants to do for this iteration is go up and down. So it's like movement isn't really important to my kid. Like they like it, but it's not. So a few thoughts, if you don't mind, please go ahead. It's part of why I'm streaming it for other people to offer feedback. Because again, I'm very new. I've made maybe 4 or 5 games in my life, so I'm all for feedback, and that's one of the most important things to do is get feedback early. First, may want to look into twin classes to handle the movement for you. I'd have to do some reading on the doc myself. I have heard about this for like smoothness of movement. So let's look at that together, because yeah, that makes sense what you're saying. Can I post a link? Absolutely, you can post a link. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Useful animation over a range of values named in betweening the animation and a specific frame. The computer interlopes the frames between them, animating something between. Okay, so it's like a float value, I'm guessing. But let's read on before I take any action. It is more suited for the animation player. Okay, good to know. For animations where you don't know the final values in advance. Okay, this sounds exactly right, and null. So yeah, because we don't know the end result completely, because we're not going to map and hard code every single value for every single letter. That would be stupid. You could do it, but it's just bad programming. Like, there's no reason for that, especially when you have a great suggestion of tween. It would be difficult to do the same thing with an animation player node. I'm sorry, what? Hold on. For example, interloping and dynamically choosing a camera zoom value is best done with a tween. It would be difficult to do. Okay, gotcha. But tween is best suited for animation player for animation. Okay. Alright, so gotcha. Just know that it is a class for moving things between 2 points. Yep. So yeah, I think you got it exactly. And maybe I don't even need to create this function. Maybe this function is a moot point given tween. Which I should really look into more of the documentation first. My first instinct is like, let's just make our own thing. But like, that's stupid. Like, that's a bit like being in a garage and being like, I'm gonna make a hammer. And it's like, could you just find a hammer in the garage? But yeah, I think this is gonna work out perfectly. Let me move this up a little. Okay. It'd be difficult to do the same thing. The animation player and it's very suited for simple animations or general tasks that do not require visual tweaking provided. But yep, so that's they can be used for fire and forget manners of logic. You can a tween can be created by using either a scene tree create tween or node create tween. Tweens create manual, i.e. use tween.new are invalid and can't be used for tweening values. Okay, alright, so can't create a new value. It's set up manually. Okay. The tween animation is created by adding tweeners. I really hate that. As I'm saying this, like, I just hate tween. I don't know why that's bothering me, but it feels like slang, but it's not. I mean, I guess it is because in between. A tween animation is created by adding tweeners to a tween object using the tween I'm gonna say T because it's bothering the hell out of me. T property, T interval, T callback. Okay. So here we create the tween. We set it up in the scene tree. We get the property of the tween. We set the values. You know what? Let me set this up now. I'm gonna comment this out because again, I do think that you solved it. Okay. And then let's create some space here so I can breathe. Let's move this way down since we don't need it right now. And now let's look at the tween. This feels like something I would have to make accessible to everybody. So tween, oh wait, is equal to get tree. No? Oh, get tree is a function. Get underscore tree. Oh, what? Why? Oh, okay. Maybe it's outdated. Yeah, I think this is it. Yep. So it's just oh, yes. My second thought: store the location of the letter in an array. Ah, yes, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. Great suggestion. Great suggestion. So let's create a variable, a at export variable called letters array. What? How else do I do an array? What is equal to, I guess, do I have to say array? Alright, get out of here, Tween, for a second. You could even randomize the letters on the start of a new game. Oh no, next one. Letters equals array. Am I wrong? What am I doing? Built-in type cannot be used in the same. No. Oh, just equal. Just equal. Oh, no equal sign is what you were saying. Sorry. There we go. Thank you. My silly self. Okay, and then here we'll add. It's been a while. Now I'm forgetting how to use an array. How do I use an array? I know. I guess it would be letter is equal to, and then I could just add them down here. No, that doesn't feel right. I don't know why I'm blanking right now. It could even be var letters array vector 2. Oh, you can use the secondary thing, data type vector 2. Is that possible? I think I'm doing something wrong. Don't forget the array. Boom. I'm doing something wrong. Property in inline must go in indented block. No parentheses? I don't think I have parentheses. Oh yeah, I did take out the parentheses. No, don't apologize, Endol. I appreciate your help. I feel silly because I forgot how to use an array. Like, that's so embarrassing. One of the most basic things in programming, and I forgot how to use it. Yeah, let's try that. Letters, array, and then a vector 2. Expected get or set property declaration. Well, you wouldn't get or set an array. So would it be get vector? Set vector? No. Appreciate you checking. I will also do my due diligence. Let me see here. Add a child, add vector. Maybe it's add child, then you add a node. Let me see if this is specifically for an array. Add a child node, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I don't think that's it. But again, thank you very much, and Noel, for your suggestions, because that helped out tremendously. Two basic programming things of like, oh, no, duh, of course, this is an array. And then, okay, so var letter array vector 2. Oh, is that not what I have? Am I missing it? Remove the second one. There we go. Yep, there you got it. Now, take that away. All right, so now that we have this to add to it, okay, this answer is wrong. Gotcha, yeah. Yeah, sometimes you have to type in the code yourself. That's one of the things, like, I hate when I'll have, like, an idea of, like, oh, I think I know how to resolve this when I'm out, and then I come back home, and then I type it in, and then it's immediately wrong, and it's like, dang it. I wish I could have, like, just tested it out just then and there. But maybe I should just get a laptop, so that way I can test these things better out on in the wild. Append. So in the here we'll append. Oh, append. Nope, not append. Or we'll call letters dot append, and then we'll grab the values for these vectors. Can I just? This is lazy, but can I just do this? P A P A. Oh, too many arguments in append? Can you only append one at a time? Okay, I can't look at the definition of append. There we go. Appends value. Oh, append array. There we go. Append array is what I'm looking for. Append array. P A too many arguments? Expected one, received two, but I could have sworn. Oh yeah, the append array onto another. Append one array onto another. What do you mean by that? Because I'm confused. Append another array at the end of this array. So var blah blah blah. Numbers append extra. Oh, extra is a separate list of. Okay. So that's how you add an array to an array. Gotcha. That's not what I want to do. I don't see the point of that. At least I don't think I see the point of that. Maybe I'm wrong. I just want to be able to add them all on. I just thought it was... I know for Python it's like relatively simple. It's just like, I don't know. Array, and then you just 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, like something like that. Got distracted. What were you trying to do? No problem at all. No problem at all. I appreciate you having me on in the background. Truly. What was I trying to do? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Oh, I'm trying to add to the vectors now. Now that we have this array, I just want to add all the letters to this array. Populate the letters. Yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly. So that's what I thought it would do in the very beginning, is append, but it's not append array. I want to just be able to add to it, which I thought was append, but it's only letting me do one at a time, which is stupid. I mean, I guess it's not a big deal, it just feels wrong. Like, I feel like I should be able to add all the... Once you get a list going, you should be able to just add whatever you want to a list, is my thinking, but... This is like, hey, taking one list and then adding it to adding to the list, and that's not what we're trying to do. What we're just trying to do is append values at the end of the array. Maybe it'll just be append, and I'll leave it at that. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I'm gonna say I'm overthinking it. And then we'll grab, let me see what you were trying to do. Oh yeah, initially I was trying to do append array, but that's just having an existing list and then having two separate lists and then concatenating, if you will, putting them together. But that's not what I want to do. I just want to be able to populate the whole thing, which I think is append. My only problem with append is that it's one. You can it only takes in one value, which I was just hoping to add them all in together rather than append and add letter A, letter P, letter P, letter A. Like, it just feels, when you're repeating yourself in code, it just feels like you're doing something wrong. So I was hoping not to do that, but I don't know another way around this right now. P-A. Let me have this in order too, so I don't confuse myself. P-A-P. And then last one, A. Okay, and now that that is ready, what I also want to do is, just to make sure I have this right, is print letters. Empty array. Those letters, what all are they? Only vector 2 is what I presumed, because we said that the array is vector 2's, but so and this is an assumption on my part, let me get this out of here. I thought whatever we add to this array, it would only take the vector 2 of whatever we add in here. But perhaps that was an assumption on my part, and that we do need to specify that this is the vector 2 of it. Maybe say dot vector 2, or rather the vector 2 of this. Does that make sense? No construct vector 2 matches signature vector 2 node. Well, all are those letters sprites? I mean, they are rigid bodies. The parent of each of them. I'll keep this one. Sorry, give me 1 second. And then I'll comment this out. So then come back to that later. The parent to all of them is a rigid body that has a collision shape, that has an area, that has a collision shape, that has a sprite, that has sound attached to it. So the rigid body itself, which is, I mean, we're referencing the parent, does have obviously a vector, but maybe I need to specify and say this variable dot transform. You do, yeah. Yeah, I need to specify. Okay, so let's do the transform. And I think that'll give me the vector 2 for each of these. Not sure it's transform. I'm not sure either. Looks like it's not. Looks like it's not. I would have thought so, but maybe I need to say global position for each of these. There we go. Yeah, it was global position. There we go. Okay, now that we have that, I guess I should validate that those are the values, but that looks right as far as X and Y values. Um, well, if we validate one, we basically validate all of them. So this one is set to 406, negative 202, 406, negative 202. Okay, there we go. Sorry, the QA in me is like, well, you're just assuming because you got one right. If I got one right, what are the chances I got any of the other ones wrong? All right, that is what it is. Okay, so boom, we have the array now. We have the array. It is the global position of each letter, so we are properly referencing that in the array. Great. Don't need to have this print statement anymore. We set up the array. Here we populate the array at the very beginning of the scene, which is, I think, fine, because ultimately what I would like to do, just like with this, is we're going to have p, a, p, and then at the very end it's going to be all the letters together, papa, and then the little image of me. And then we'll essentially have her work through each and every single letter, or work through letters with words, so that way she has some type of connection to it. Give me 1 second. This woman is messaging me. Okay, I will message her back because I know that's going to be a full conversation and I'm not going to be able to focus. Yeah. So yeah, you were right. It was not transform, it was global position, but now that we have those properly referenced, we should be in good shape. And now we can go back to what you originally pointed out, again, rightfully so, expediting my development tremendously. Which again, another reason I'm grateful for Stream is because everyone, when I first started programming, people were kind of rude about correcting me. But I don't know, maybe it's just a different community with Stream or with Twitch. But like every developer that has come on here that knows way more than me is so kind and patient. So again, thank you, Endnol. I really appreciate it. Just quickly being like, hey, do you mind if I point these things out? And it's like, yeah, you pointed out things that are going to expedite my development cycle tremendously. I wanted to say 10x, but that's like triggering. I'm not a pro at this kind of thing either. Yeah, you're not a pro, but I think that given your years of experience with, just C, like you have a good grounding in logic, which allowed you to be like, I think there's a tool for that. At least my interpretation. Maybe I'm putting you on too high of a pedestal, but I think that given your experience, you're able to, sift through the weeds a bit more better than I currently can. So again, I'm immensely grateful. Oh, do you have any games, Endnol? You want to put it in the chat? Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy that you're happy to help. I really am. But yeah, do you have any games you want to put in the chat? You could put your itch.io or whatever, your Steam in there. I only have an itch.io, and it's relatively short. It's not long. Let me take this off of this screen. I'm pretty sure I have two-factor authentication, so that's going to be a pain in my ass. It's going to wait for this new cycle to happen. Oh no, most of my stuff is standalone scripts and apps. I'm currently working on another non-game app that uses Godot, though. That's very cool. I really love when people utilize Godot to create things that aren't games. Like, I think that's really, really cool. And that's something ultimately I'd like to do as well with like robotics and 3D printing, but that's down the line. I'm moving soon, so I'm hoping to take some classes when I move, and then learn that stuff. But yeah, It's not itch. It would be the final one to make that choice, as I don't own the IP. Ah, gotcha, gotcha. Totally understandable. Um, so yeah, this is mine. Oh, this is the like back end of it where you can see the views and stuff. But nope. Where's my games? Oh, this is my library. But where are my games? Dashboard? No. How do I go to my thing? There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 games that are functioning. I took down like 2 or 3 that were just not working properly. Dong is definitely one I want to get back to, and now that you have me learning about tween animations, it makes me immediately think, oh, what can I do with Dong? Because Dong is a stupid. Thank you for putting it in the chat. Yeah, Dong is a stupid version of Pong with no sound effects, just a stupid little thing. When I was with my ex, I had her draw these little blue penises. But yeah, this is a very simple, very bad game. But found you. Yeah, you found me. Yeah, this is a very simple but very bad game. And I wanted to have it where the peeners, the little peepees, would react. So like the balls would react, the shaft would react, and all that stuff. But now that you have me learning about tween animations, I think I can actually do that and create some type of quote unquote procedural animation. But we'll see. We'll see. Cool. But yeah, these are the games I have up right now. Again, I had to take down I think 3 of them because they just did not work. So I just felt bad about like leaving games that didn't work. But yeah, I'm hoping to add more. Smooth out the movement. Tweens are good at that, as it's obviously. Yes, exactly. So yeah, I really do look forward to this. And you mentioning this is like, again, gets me excited because I'm like, okay, I can, if I learn this well enough, I can apply this to Dong. So we'll get there. But anyway, especially since it seems like such a simple project. It's just Pong, just with penises. And then, I'll add like little power-ups and things like that. But yeah, we'll get to that later. Right now, let's focus on the game I'm making for my kid. Which, again, I made Dong before I had a child. I mean, I stand by the game, but yeah, you can tell I was a budding developer that was like, this would be funny. Okay, so I mean, you can write your own betweening code, but I found that most game engines and class handle it for you. Exactly. Yeah, and I think that's like a constant thing with developers of like, do I make this myself or do I just utilize the engine? And I really want to work on utilizing the engine more. It's just that dreaded, and I even hate to say dreaded, it's a lazy mentality of like, I don't want to read through the documentation. I'd rather just make it myself, but that's silly. Again, I can expedite my cycle this way. So anyway, where am I? So cool, we have the entire array here of the letters. So what we'll do is all right, so we're gonna swap out move toward for in between. Let me just read. Oh, this is pretty long. All right, I'm trying to determine what I do need to know. I think this beginning part covered a lot of it. Is this updated? Yeah, it says 4.3. Okay. Here we create it, we add it to the tree, and then we create essentially new. I don't know why it's like this, but it is essentially tween is equal to tween.new. That's how I'm reading it. Tween properties is taking a sprite It takes the modulate color and the vector, the scale. Okay, so it makes it red, it scales it down, I think, and then removes it from the scene. Gotcha. I think I'm probably going to learn more from reading this code than actually reading the documentation. At some point, you could build a list, I'd assume, of a dictionary of some kind of all the letters. Then, when you load a level, have a function that loops through the letters and gives it the actual. That's probably exactly right. And I don't want to forget what you said, so I'm just gonna add it to my documentation of feedback. I'm gonna add this. Feedback of long-term code. Yeah, this sounds exactly right. It's one of those things like when you said array of like, yeah, that sounds exactly what I should be doing, but not at that point just yet. But I don't want to lose or forget what you said in case you're not able to attend another stream or I just simply forget. I'd rather have that feedback locked and loaded. And let me also make sure I give credit. And no. Okay. How long have I been working on my Kiddo's game? An hour and a half? Okay. Let me think. The way that way for a level, you just give it maybe an array of PA, then load it, loops through the list and matches them into the dictionary you have with all the sprites. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I understand it sort of, not fully, but what you're saying is making sense. I'm just not connecting all the dots right now. But I'm gonna add this as well because that makes sense. Then at the very beginning, just load in whatever is needed. Don't have to worry about it, and then it'll just plug in those sprites, and then we're set. Like you said, the dictionary. This is a Papa level. Load in these letters. This is a Mama level. Load in these letters. No, well, that makes sense. It may not be the best idea, but I mean, how often is coding about the best idea versus what gets the job done, right? Like as far as my job goes, when I work with programmers and with fixing something, it's never about like what is the best code. It's like how do we get this done where it's not going to affect the users and it will it won't affect the users unnecessarily and it will affect the users that we want, you know? So sure, it may not be the best idea, but it's, I think, a solid idea. It's essentially an automation. Here's a full dictionary of everything that you need. What type of level is this? Okay, here's the letters that you need. Boom, boom, boom. And then you're set. And then you can just rinse and repeat with whatever letters I need. So yeah, that makes sense to me. And maybe even at the start of a level, this is thinking way far off of like, you want to maybe add a level selector, which I don't have a menu for this right now, but maybe at a level selector you were like, oh, I want the Papa, or I want to work on Papa, or I want to work on Mama, or I want to work on school, or like whatever word, and she can just click it, and then rather than me designing every single level and setting this up, it's just plug and play. Working on the detail will be the real work. Yep, exactly. Getting it set, and then I heard a game developer refer it to going to Poland. You just polishing and polishing and polishing and polishing. But yeah, that'll be that. Yeah, just getting it up and running, then refining it, and then going from there. I think it was I don't remember who said it, but like premature optimization is the root of all evil. And while I do think that's a hyperbole, a huge hyperbole, it is definitely a pain in the ass to try to optimize before it's even ready. I've done that so many times with so many projects at work or personal, where it's like you don't need to make this perfect right now. You just need to get it to work properly, and then make sure it works properly from beginning to end. Then you can refine it, and then you can optimize it, and blah blah blah. Okay. Um. So cool. Sorry about that. Um. Oof. Yeah, I'm more tired than I thought I would be. Well, I'm gonna do my best to stay streaming until 10 o'clock. I may just switch gears to hacking, but let me at least do one more thing, because I was really hoping that my kid could play this before they leave. I mean, I guess I still have Thanksgiving that I can have them play, but I don't know. Alright, well, let me not focus on that. Let me just get this working. Well, it looks like End Null, and it looks like you may have left. If you did, I greatly appreciate you hopping on the stream. I really do. I'll drop you a follow in case you are a streamer as well. Let me see if you're a streamer. Because obviously, with all due respect, if you're not, there's no point in me streaming or following you. Oh, you stream Cyberpunk 2077. That's cool. Again, if you're still here. Oh, you last streamed 4 years ago. Okay, so you don't stream anymore. Okay, that's fine. Super cool guy, though. So let's hop back over. Get this out of here. No, don't bother. I don't really stream, or I haven't in a long time. Yeah. Pardon. I just saw your comments, and thank you for following, and I really appreciate it. 9 more to my goal. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I saw that you were streaming Cyberpunk 2077, which I loved that game for a period of my life. Not that it's a bad game at all. It's just like I'm at the stage where every time I play a video game, I'm like, shouldn't you just try to make a video game? Like, especially with me having a kid, I'm like, should probably just spend time making video games. But then again, as a game developer, you have to play games. I stream it for a few with my friends back when I first came out. I don't know. Yeah, and that's awesome. That's awesome. That's something I gotta with this channel. I really want to work on as well, of like getting buddies to play games with, because I'm. Lastly, I just stream over Discord. The 3 or 4 people I know. That's awesome. That's awesome. Playing video games with your buddies is one of my favorite college memories. And then once I got out of college, I just became super antisocial. So I don't have any buddies to play with. But I love that you're playing with your 3 or 4 people. It's really important to socialize and have human contact. I'm just so, and this is something I'm becoming cognizant of as my kid ages. I'm like, I spend most of my time talking to a computer than talking to people. College was a long time for me. Yeah, me too. I mean, likely given that you started C, I think it was 25 years ago, it's probably a longer period of time for you. But yeah, college was 8, 9 years ago, maybe 10. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, like let me just round up and say 10. You're about double for me. So yeah. Yeah, college was a long time ago for sure. Um, but yeah, that's when I was heavy into gaming. I went into gaming tournaments. I worked for esports, um, an esports company for a little bit. I went to, or I was offered to go to Canada for a esports tournament. Um, I thought student senate was more important at the time. Stupid, but you're a kid. You don't know. But yeah, yeah. College was the glory days of gaming for me. But I really do hope to make more gaming friends. But we'll see. Anyway, sorry. We were at tween, and I was learning about that. You know what? Maybe I'll just save this for later. That's what I'm gonna do because I feel my brain starting to like grind, if you will, on the gear. So let me save this, and then I'll switch gears to. Should I hack right now or should I work on a different game? And no, I don't know how much longer you're here, but would you rather see me work on a different game or me hacking? Or learning to hack, I should say. Because I know I'm stumped on a problem for hacking. I don't take part in tournaments anymore, but I still go to some. Went to a fighting, um, went to a fighting game one last month. Yeah, it would. Yeah, that's another thing I should go to socialize. That's a really good point, and Noel, you brought up a really good point. It's an easy way to socialize is to go to a tournament. I move soon, so maybe I'll look at that. What are you hacking? I am learning to hack. Let me show you that. And I feel my brain like capping out. So I'm gonna do my best to at least meet 2 hours. Maybe I can get half an hour done here. So I'm learning to hack, and right now we're doing web enumeration. So I'm gonna spawn this attack machine. I'm gonna spawn my virtual machine, or get my virtual machine spun up. And oh wow, the attack machine spawned up really quick. And here's the IP address. And then what I'm trying to do, what does it want me to do? Run some enumeration techniques, and use to get the flag. Okay, so I'm trying to get pen testing. Yep. Yep, doing some pen testing. So let me let me also switch the name of this now to hack the box, and then I'm gonna say web enumeration. Okay, so let me get this nmap going. Allow nmap. All right. Now I could see what ports are open and try to do it that way, but I think I'm gonna gather too much information if I try that. What did I go over in this section? Because that's probably how they want me to solve it. Port 80 and port 443. We can scan those and see what's up. Port would be 80. Port 80 is closed. 443. Also closed. Okay. Since both of those are closed, how would we go about this then? If I just do a general scan of the using the 58, using the port number they gave me, what will that give me? 42164. I'm guessing that it's semi-closed. Maybe may want to do port scan to see what is open at all. Yeah, exactly, exactly. So let's do a full port scan. Okay, that's not true. So let me, oh, failure, blah, 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 blah. Why? Did I not do the right command? I'm pretty sure. Here's that IP address is correct. I'm 90% sure it's this one. Maybe just that? No. Okay, so let me clear this out since we basically had no data there. You gave a port with the IP. Yeah, because that's what was provided to me. But let me take out the port number. Maybe that is what's taking it up. Yep, you were right. Because I was hoping if I scanned the the port number that was provided, it would give some insight into. Well, that doesn't make sense. Never mind. I was coming up with nonsense. Okay, so this is what we have open. I'm not familiar with most of these ports. There is a secure shell open. RPC bind. I don't even know what that is. RPC bind. Closes the analog bind and relay. No, I don't think that's what we need here. But you also said no idea, so fair. But I was like, oh, maybe. Remote, yeah. Let me scan. Yeah, let me scan 22 and 111. Let's go from there. Oh, how do I get more detailed? Because I think this is going to be the same thing. So it's just like, oh, it's open. And it's like, yeah, I know it's open. I was just trying to get more. Oh, you know what I probably should do is run a script. So that's dash sc dash sv port number, and then the port number is I just had it, 22 and 111. Let's try 111 first. Yeah, that's what they gave me an IP to look at first. So I think that they were trying to like direct me to be like, hey, just check this port. Yeah, they gave me an IP address and then of course the ending here with the port. So I thought they were trying to be like, hey, scan this port essentially, but all right, TCP, UDP, bind. I don't really know what to do with this information. I see the information. I don't know what to do with it. Let me check the other port that what was that? 22? Yeah. I think it's gonna be roughly the same thing. Oh, I need to do. Oops. Two secure shell connections open on a disband Linux server or Linux kernel, not Linux server. I'm trying my best not to tap out. I wanted to stream until 10, but my brain is like, I'm tired. And I'm like, you buck up. Buck up, brain. You got this. Okay, so basically, I don't think I can do anything with any of this data. I have the versioning number, I have the program that's being run, and I have the potential OS that it's, or not the potential, the OS that it's running on. But that isn't going to give me what I need to get the flag. To get the flag, I do think that is ultimately going to ask me to utilize one of the techniques I learned recently. So Go Buster is one. What's the other one? Go Buster and Fuff. What is most used here? This is a install sec list. There's a lot of data to go through and a lot of different web enumeration techniques that this covers. Okay, I'm not going to clear this out, but I will utilize. I wonder if I can just essentially copy a previous command that they have. So GoBuster, the directory for user at the IP address. And that's, let's do this, but without the port number. Let's try that first. Not utilizing the port number. Was there something else I needed? Error required flags wordless, so I'm missing a parameter. Oh, no worries. This is beyond my skill, but I don't really deal with hacking beyond the local systems. I spend time decoupling programs, but that always... yeah, gotcha. Yeah, and I mean, this is, I'm still getting started with hacking. I just really got interested in it, and there's a lot of money in it, so I was just like, well, it's cool, and there's a lot of money in it, great. And then I essentially treat game development and hacking as a hobby until it's not. But yeah, I'm currently out of my depth, but I'm happy to learn. Yes, a lot of money, a lot of money. My buddy from college, he is he can't say what exactly, but he does because of like not HIPAA, some type of NDA. He works for a federal government for a power plant. I don't know what type of power, solar energy, or a solar fusion or nuclear. I don't know what type of power, whatever, but he makes whoa, what happened to my VM? My VM was disconnected. Why was my VM disconnected? Oh, this is a cool little cheat sheet. I wish I could, literally I was like, oh, I wish I could download this. Perfect. Okay, so why did my virtual machine go away? Let's do another one. There it is. Okay. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, sorry. My buddy makes 200. My buddy makes 200K hacking for some type of government energy source, and I think last year he got a one of those cyber trucks, and I was like, why the hell would you get that? And he was like, well, I got a bonus of 50K, so I was like, you know, I'm already out of debt. What am I gonna spend it on? Let me get myself a new car. And I was like, wow. You know, he's younger than me, so he's like I think 26, and he's making decent money. He doesn't have a kid or anything like that, so it's incredible. Yeah, I'm jealous too. But again, him telling me about it, and he was like, well, you do QA. That's like a step below hacking. And I was like, in what way? And then he told me about it, and I was like, okay, I can see that. But I'll tell you what, doing QA for 3-4 years now, and it's different. This is very different. Because there's certain, networking protocols and things like that that I just did not know. You know, I just learned last month that this extra stuff after the parentheses is a port. I didn't know that, but yeah, yeah, he makes a lot of money. 200K with a $50,000 bonus is insane. That doesn't make sense to me. Like it's like how do you give that much money to one person um as a bonus? $50,000? Part of me honestly wishes he's lying and he didn't that wasn't how much he got. Yeah, this is how I knew you were giving it the port number. Yeah, exactly. Yep, yep. So let me go back here so I can get on my buddy's level. And okay, so we have you, the IP address. Oh, did I do that before? It was HTTP. I did. Okay, I did do that. I don't know why that's not in the previous commands. I don't know why. I'm gonna leave that as is. Take this, copy it, paste it in here, and then I'm missing something from this command. Oh, maybe that cheat sheet will help. Let me see. I'm looking specifically for web enumeration. Good. Grab site banner. That would be useful. Let me see if I can access the site just as the IP address. Whoa, what happened to my... There it is. Yeah, sadly the largest bonuses I've ever got was around 5K, but SecOps always gets the money. Yeah, I mean 5K is a decent bonus for sure. $5,000 is nothing to scoff at. But understandable when I just said $50,000, which again, part of me is like maybe he's lying. You know, that just seems like such a ridiculously huge number, but I don't know. I mean, he is doing it for the government, and I guess it is pretty important that the government isn't able to, you're not able to hack into power sources for the government. That makes sense that they would really value that, but I don't know. Yeah, talking 10x, the best I've ever gotten. Yeah, so that's, but I don't work for the largest company. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that obviously plays a factor. I know he went from working for our college and doing like basic cybersecurity stuff for our community college. Then he went to a bigger college, and then he got the government job. So he was already kind of like integrated into that environment, if you will. But yeah, let me put that IP address that I had in here. No, I just want the IP address. I just want the IP address. Okay, so it doesn't work without the port number. Maybe it would work with the port number. That doesn't make sense to me as far as the URL goes, but maybe I'm wrong. An IP address is the same as a URL, so what am I missing? I mean, if I just copy it in there raw. Come on now. They are the same. 9 o'clock, yes, okay, I met my goal. Okay, perfect, and I am able to access it. Okay, let's zoom out here. Nothing on this site, this is just HTML with plain text. Control U. HTML with plain text. No pointers. No links, okay. It's just a plain site When you pull it up, it has no links. So that doesn't tell me shit. Let me think here. Well, ultimately we're doing web enumeration. So we're in this section. This is what we're going to be using. Something along this line. So let's just go through. This kind of reminds me of jiu-jitsu, or if you do a martial art, it's like, let's focus on the basic strikes. Let's focus on the basic combo and how one move leads into another. So this is what I'm going to do, is just go from the top to bottom of the web enumeration and see what we can figure out. Here's my terminal. So first is GoBuster. Okay, so I was right on that front. But I don't. Oh yeah, you don't work for the largest. Okay, I did read that one. So yeah. Oh, let me also move my head. So I'm not taking up important space where the stuff is being run. Okay. Well, enumeration, so just gathering info. Yeah, exactly. Just gathering info. But enumeration is just gathering information on the target. But it states that you use the techniques you've learned in this section on the server above and use the info to get the flag. So the flag is typically a password or something like that, but I honestly think it's going to be literally a flag file or a flag text file. But we'll see. I have to get into the system to see. At least I think I have to get into the system. Maybe I'm able to see the flag just within. Well, I guess that's what it's insinuating, is that via web enumeration, so just gathering info, I should be able to get the flag. I don't see how that's possible, but let's run these stuff to see. So we're in web enumeration. I have GoBuster directory user or URL of this, and then I need, if it'll work, of this. Oops. It's not gonna let me do it. There we go. And then I need dash W. W. And then I don't know where that file would be. Does this work command work without specifying the file? Because here it's like, and essentially user share documents in word list, blah blah blah. Now maybe I'm able to run this command because this is a common thing similar to robot text files for web scrapers, but I don't know. Flag needs an argument with W. W in W. That's what I. Oh, okay, gotcha. Needs an argument. So let's use the same one that is used here. So user. Thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. So we're on the user. We're gonna go to the share file, and then let's go into the directory. Directory B, which again, I really don't think that sorry, I said directory, this is distribution. I don't think that this is the distribution that we're looking for. But let's see. Does not exist. Yeah, see, this is way too specific of a directory path. So I was fairly certain that was not it. So run directory command on website. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, is just run it on the website itself. But when I ran it just on the website, if I take away the W maybe? Oh, also this isn't the proper website because we tried to use it without the port number. And when we don't use the port number, it doesn't work. So I know Strux told about you. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you, and Noel, I really appreciate it. That's so kind. That is truly so kind. This warms my heart that you told somebody about me. I really appreciate it. I wondered too because it looked like they joined and then left. So I was like, oh. All right. So we got we go to the URL. Here's the URL, but it won't let us run that command. And if we just do the W, it still needs more of an argument. But so it looks like we need more space. Okay, so let's skip that command, right? Just like jujitsu or some type of martial art. That one's not working. Let's switch gears. But again, it's specifying a specific directory on the server, which we can't access. So we have to skip that move. We have to skip that move. So let's use, and we don't have any good data in here, so I'm just going to clear this out so I don't have a bunch of data that I have to sift through. So let's utilize curl to grab the banner. So we're going to do curl. I don't remember what the command IL means, but we'll do HTTPS. It is S, right? HTTPS, yeah. / and then our IP address that was provided. That's not our IP address. That's not our IP address at all. This is our IP address. Wrong version. Not sure if you need anything beyond the IP and port. Not sure if you need HT. Gotcha. Yeah, we'll see. Let me delete. You've been right before. Oops. Not what I meant to do. Oh, whoops. All right. Well, now I'm gonna hang up this curl grabbing a banner on an IP address I did not intend. So let me create a new. Get that out of there. Close out that terminal. Let me see. Curl. Again, -il, and then let's plug in that IP address without the HTTPS. Yep, you were right. We did not need it. Okay. So this is running on Apache. And as I saw before when we opened up the site, it is just a text HTML with no pointing references. Okay, so now I also know when I'm running curl, if I have the IP address, I do not need any of this stuff, because essentially that's the layman's term of the website versus the actual coordinates of the website. Reason for not needing an HTTP is telling you what port to use. Ah, gotcha. Yeah. And we already specified the port we're using. Thank you. Thank you. I forgot where the camera was. Okay. So let me grab my notes here. HTTPS is port 443. Gotcha. Notepad. Where's my notepad? Notepad. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Let me just grab this info. And this is here. And then let me grab the IP address. Can I do that here? IP address. Oh, it's not gonna let me do it like that. Just want to try to organize my notes for this target here. For this IP address is what I said. Alright, that didn't work. Paste. I don't know what the hell is happening here. Alright, it works in every other instance. I don't know why it's just not working for this. Alright, well, I know it's for this one. HTTPS or HTTP is normally port 80 if you remember right, but most sites now use or just forward to HTTPS. Days of open encryption pages are mostly be dead or should be dead, but isn't. Yeah, Yeah, I know. I knew that HTTPS was more of a norm now. I did not know it had to do with encryption. So, but I guess that's the S of the HTTP. It's like security for encryption. Um, but cool. Did not know that. Learning more as we go on. So grateful for that. Um, yes, thank you. Exactly. Okay, great, great. Good to get that confirmation. Okay, so we ran this command. Didn't get much information other than what we have here. That is running on a Apache, on Ubuntu, and it has a plain text, um, site. So not much information there. Or maybe I need to understand exactly what it's asking for as far as flag. So flag, it only mentions flag twice. And in this instance, oh man. Okay, come on, buck up. Let's see. Let's see. We gotta work for that $50,000 bonus. um, we can use GoBuster enumeration available in subdomains to give it using the DNS flag. I don't think that's what it wants me to do. Looking for subdomain. Yeah. Maybe it is a subdomain that we're looking for. I don't know if I need to run this or install this seclist to be able to find the subdomain. I really don't know. I really don't know. Well, alright, keep pushing, keep pushing. See if we can make it to 9:30. Okay, so in this instance, what led to this? Oh no, this is a completely separate section. So let's go with that assumption, since the only instance of flag that's mentioned in this section is regarding DNS subdomain enumeration. If that's the case, and what it's telling us to do here is then to run this stuff, and then we can run this command. But we're able to utilize GoBuster without that. Next add, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm gonna. Excuse me. My brain's tired. I'm gonna pop this out, pop the virtual machine out into a separate thing. Put that off to the side. Grab our lesson here. And let's run the. Oh man. Come on. Come on. $50,000. Let's try running these commands, because it seems like a combo, if you will. We set it up here, we run these commands, and then it's able to show us the subdomains. Yeah, so I think this is exactly what it wants us to do. Why we're running or installing this, I don't know. Such as admin panels and applications with additional functionality that could be exploited. Yeah, I'm not sure. Cancel. We're gonna keep this notes. Let's go through this. Adding this to the virtual machine feels weird. I don't know. Hey, my baby boy. Hey, my baby boy. Let's see if you guys can see my puppy. Ooh, my baby boy. Mwah. Here's my baby boy. Here's my baby boy who wants to say hi. Is my baby boy who knows Papa stays at the computer for too long? Yes. He stays at the computer too long. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes, my baby boy. My baby boy. He's the cutest. This is Jiraiya. This is Jiraiya the Gallant. He's such a cutie patootie. Oh, you added a GitHub page. Oh, perfect. Yeah, it was for the link. Perfect. And that is for GoBuster. Yep. But I think GoBuster is... Alright, baby boy. Okay. He gets like this whenever I've been at the computer too long. And I've been at this computer for probably 12 hours, 14 hours today. So... I think he knows. He's like, hey, you gotta get off the computer. You gotta stop staring at screens and be with me. And I get it. I would love to be with you. Mwah, but I want $50,000. Mwah, I want $50,000. Okay. I love my boy so much. Yeah, I probably should. I'm gonna just push it for 15 more minutes. Just so I know I challenge myself. And I pushed past the point where I wanted to quit. I wanted to quit at half an hour, so I'm at 2 hours and 7 minutes, so that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay, so both commands run. Now it's saying, so yeah, and no, I agree with you. I should get off of the computer. And again, I think that's what my puppy was like, hey, because he immediately left. He was just trying to get me off of the computer. He's like, hey, what the hell? I don't see you laying down. I don't see you watching TV. Why aren't you chilling? I was like, because I want $50,000. I mean, I want way more than $50,000. Again, my buddy gets paid $200K and got a bonus of $50K. So, you know, an additional, for me, it would be $110K would be amazing. All right, so we run this command. We ran that command. Next, add the DNS server, such as blah, 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 to the act, etc. resolution conflict. I don't think that's conflict. I think that's a executable. So let's run this command. And then we don't need the website because we're going to use the IP address. When do you normally stream? I stream Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is my typical stream. That is my typical schedule. That is what I've been able to work out considering configuration file. Gotcha. I don't know why I thought it was executable. Executable is exe. But yeah, configuration file. Okay. But yeah. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. is my typical. As I mentioned before, I've been streaming, or not streaming, I've been on my computer for a long time. So I do need to get away from it, but I also, I didn't specify word lists. What more do I need in this command? I'm gonna get a pain in the back of my eye, which is my body rejecting me staying on, but I'm gonna stay on until 9:30. I'm gonna push like an athlete, push like how I used to do when I did sports, but just mentally. Okay, so I ran that command, and then we ran this one, and what am I missing? I ran D. What the hell? I just ran this command. Why is it not? Whatever. Copy, paste. Now what am I missing? What am I missing? I have this. And then, pardon if you can hear my puppy slurping away his water. I'm 90% sure he's doing it so loudly just because he's like, you gotta get off. You gotta get off. Does not exist. Yeah, this seems too specific, but I think that this is directly this is taking directly from what we installed. So it's not too specific. But it's saying it doesn't exist, but we added this. There should be a way to confirm that this is, let me see, go, come on now. Go Buster, my head is hurting. Man up, come on, we got this. Huh. Well, that doesn't help me. Yeah, might as well try. Oh, well, obviously we wouldn't go into the text file. That doesn't make sense. Silly me. We would cut it right here. Okay, and there's nothing in my downloads folder. Then back out. Just to browse that file. Yeah, exactly. Or use the UI. Yeah, I could use the UI. I don't know why I went all Linux on me myself. Not sure what desktop that is to what kind of file browser it has. Yeah, I know it's running on Parrot OS, so it should be relatively the same. But let's see. Can I just pull this up like this? Sec list. That pulls up, but I think this is yeah, I was about to say, I think that's a tool, but it's not going to let me pull up the, unless I can name list it right here. Yeah, oh wait, name list. Okay. No, don't close that out. Oh wait, maybe you should close it out. Seven more minutes. Push, push, push. Desktop. Just a desktop. Makes sense. My head hurts. Oh, don't I have... Come on now. What the hell? Get out of here. This is so annoying. No, no, shit. No. No. What the hell is going on? Where's the file manager on this? Come on, come on, tough it out, come on. That's directory, but I don't know if that's... That was too broad. Oh, I literally looked up a dictionary like a dumbass. Oh my god, come on. There's a dictionary. What did you say it was? Kaja? Kaja? Let's look up Kaja. What the why is this here? Kaja. No. Get out of here. I don't need you right now. You. Kaja. Oh, I know, my baby boy. I know. I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna get off in a little bit. Give me a second. I know. I know. Mwah, I know. I know. This is my Jiraiya baby boy. My Jiraiya baby boy. He's so good to me. He's so good to me. He's so good to me. Man's my friend, for real, for real. cheap viewers on. Get the hell out of here. If it's not a real viewer, it's nothing. um, thank you, bot, for dating to come to my stream to push your nonsense. Sorry, and no, where was I? Mate desktop, so that's what I'm on. Normally Kaja, I think. Kaja file manager. Why can't I pull up the file manager? Because this stupid thing is in the way. I don't know why it's like this. Maybe if I go small and then go big again. God, you know what it honestly is? It's just that my brain's, I'm like frustrated mentally, so my brain's not working. Yeah, I was like, let me. I'm thinking I'm going Linux mode, but let me just go. So here it is. Here's the file, and then it's running through all of these common password lists. So it's here. I just don't know why it's not saying. It's saying it's not. Saying it's not, it doesn't exist, I think was the feedback. Need to go to that user folder. Yeah. So let me back up. Where is the directory? From home to sec. Wait, that can't be it. It is it? From home to this to sec list. Can I just copy this directory? Like a normal thing? Directory, here you are. But that's not fully it, right? Because it was directory, word list, common. Directory, word list, which should be passwords, common. Oh. Need to go to the user folder. Let's see. Sec list. Usernames. Maybe that's what you meant. Let me, because I don't see another user folder, right? No, I don't see another user folder. No. Okay. So usernames. User. Oh, God. Stupid headache. Okay, pull up this up. Yeah, not sure. I don't often work with Mate, mostly Windows servers myself. Home would be the root of the user folder. Would be higher than that. Okay, would be higher. Oh, fuck me. Okay, my head is killing me. So I'm gonna call it there. But it is installed. We do know what we're utilizing. Essentially, what we're having it run, which I didn't fully understand exactly what we were doing. But we're having it run through a bunch of common passwords to gather information to see if we can run through it. And it looks like, obviously, because this attack machine is set up to work this exercise for web enumeration, that once we run the passwords for this, we'll be able to get the flag. So very cool tool. I did not know that GoBuster worked that way. Definitely something I'm going to utilize in the future. Very cool that it already has like a whole archive of passwords that can be used. I really do look forward to that. But Noel, thank you so much for attending the stream. I really do appreciate it. I really appreciate your support. I appreciate the follow. Again, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is going to be the end of my stream once it hits 9:30, which it just did. Whew, okay. A big win for me because I was exhausted half an hour in. Thanks, man. I'll hopefully see you later. Even if you stream or whatever, I'm happy to support. I'll see you later.